Welcome to the chemistry class. Today we are continuing with the new chapter, periodic table. So in the last class, I hope you have seen the video. In the last class we were discussing about how the periodic table was just formulated in the olden time. So first classification was made by Antoine Lavoisier. After that, Dobrina came. His law was known as the law of triads, where he said that the atomic mass, the average of the atomic mass of the first element and the third element will give you the atomic mass of the middle element. But when elements with higher atomic mass was discovered, this law could not be followed. It was discarded. After that came John Newlands. What was his discovery? What was the name of his law? Law of octaves. He classified elements according to the notes of music. He said that the first element and the eighth element will be having similar property. But for him also, the law was discarded because throughout the life of chemistry, when we look, elements were discovered again and again. So when they considered the atomic mass of higher elements, what happened was that these elements could not follow this order. So this law was also discarded. After that came another scientist who created a major breakthrough in the periodic law. His name was Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev. Okay, he was a Russian chemist. Okay, so he was a Russian chemist. His name was Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev. So he was a person who created a major breakthrough. He arranged elements according to the increasing order of the atomic mass. So when he arranged the elements in the increasing order of the atomic mass, he could find that the elements with similar physical and chemical properties were included in the same table. So there is a law which was put forward by Mendeleev. That law was known as Mendeleev's periodic law. Mendeleev's periodic law. Okay, what is Mendeleev's periodic law? It is very important. The physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic mass. This was the periodic law which was put forward by Mendeleev. The physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic mass. This was the law which was put forward by Mendeleev. It's very important. Okay. So when we have a discovery or when we find something, we will be always thinking about, now I have discovered something. What is the advantage of it? So if a person or if a scientist has discovered something, we will be thinking, so he has discovered this thing. Now what is the importance of that finding in the field of science? Isn't it? Similarly, there are advantages of Mendeleev also. The first advantage was that he was able to arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic mass, and so the study of chemistry was easier. Okay, so that was the first advantage of Mendeleev. That is, he could arrange the elements. The elements with similar physical and chemical property were arranged, and so the studying of chemistry was made easier. Second advantage was that he found out that some elements were not following the increasing order of atomic mass. Some elements were not following the increasing order of atomic mass. And he also said why it happened. It was because the atomic mass was wrongly determined. Okay, so the atomic mass of element was wrongly determined. For example, we can say that earlier the atomic mass of beryllium was determined as 14. Later, when Mendeleev said that some elements were not following the increasing order of atomic mass, it was corrected. The atomic mass of beryllium was corrected from 14 to 9. So that was the second advantage. The third one was that he could predict the properties of elements which has yet to be discovered. And in the periodic table he constructed, he left spaces, gaps for the elements which are yet to be discovered. And he also predicted properties of the elements which are yet to be discovered. For example, he said that there will be an element which will be placed after aluminium. That element will be having a special property. That element will be melting in the palm of our hands. So that was a prediction which was put by Mendeleev. That is, he said that in the future, there will be an element which will be placed after aluminium, and that element will be having a property, will be having a special property. That is, that element will be melting in the palm of our hands. After long years, after Mendeleev's death, an element gallium was discovered. That element had a special property. It was placed after aluminium. That property of gallium was that the melting point of gallium was 36 to 37 degrees Celsius, which was our normal body temperature. Okay, so if you place gallium in the palm of our hands, it will melt. So that was a really shocking discovery or prediction that was made by Mendeleev. So when we are discussing about lot of advantages of Mendeleev, I hope that there will be some limitations also, isn't it? Yes, it was true. There were some limitations that was put forward by, or there were limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table. Now we are going to discuss about the limitations that was put forward by Mendeleev. Now we have to discuss the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table. 4 limitations are there particularly. First limitation was that no particular place was given for hydrogen. Okay, no special position or no particular position was given for hydrogen. Second limitation was that some elements were not strictly following some elements were not arranged according to the increasing atomic mass. Some elements were not arranged according to the increasing atomic mass. Third one was that the non-metallic hydrogen was placed along with metals like sodium, potassium, lithium, etc. Okay, non-metallic hydrogen was placed along with metals like sodium, potassium and lithium. And the last limitation was that hard metals like copper and silver were placed along with soft metals like sodium and potassium. Okay, so there are 4 limitations. First limitation, no proper position was given for hydrogen. Second, some elements were not arranged according to the increasing atomic mass. Third one was that non-metallic hydrogen was placed along with metals like sodium, potassium, etc. And the fourth one was that hard metals like copper and silver were placed along with soft metals like potassium, sodium and lithium. So these advantages of Mendeleev's periodic table, limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table, and the law which was put forward by Mendeleev was very important. It is very important for your exam also. Okay, so that's all for this week. Thank you.